Hi, I'm Carrie. I'm based in Sheffield in the UK, and it's very late at night here, so I'm a little bit tired and flesh looking. So I'm connector, more strongly connected than I expected to be, and I mix that in with alchemist and nurturer. Such an alchemist, proper shiny object syndrome. It's like, oh, look at this, and then look at that. Oh, it's terrible, but I love it as well. So I work in person with people. I've been a myofascial therapist for 20 years. So I'm really hands-on, and then we build that in with the mentoring. So people get to live really glorious lives and get to do everything that they want to do. And I love doing the work that I have the opportunity to do. Yeah, so I'm sure I will talk more about that connector alchemy nurtury thing because it really comes up strongly for me.
So where we're going to start is sometimes when people do the quiz, their results are a bit of a surprise. You know, so many of the celebrities, for example, were like, no, that's not me. I'm a celebrity. So I want to hear, and this time we're going to start with Jodie and go around again. Was it a surprise, or have you always known that you're a connector? Or is there part of you that was like, don't put me in a box, Denise? I want to hear your reaction finding out that you're a connector.
I was not surprised that I was a connector, but I didn't resonate until I properly read through everything. I'm like quite an introvert. I'm one of those outgoing introverts. Like the idea of like making connections is a bit kind of like, oh God, but once you get me in my flow, I'm that kind of connector, which is very much about sharing information. It's about teaching. It's about, giving you the best of what I have to offer. Yeah, but I think to begin with, I was like, really? Connector? I'm terrible at networking. I always stand on the side of the room and I take the room in. And then when I've read the room, I kind of jump in. So definitely with the alchemist and the nurturer, I see how it all works together. So I never really think of myself as being like top of the triangle connector.
And so what I want to do is go back in time. Okay. I want you to think of the baby connector you, because every archetype often has to unlearn things, or they were told they were wrong at a young age, and that those things aren't necessarily valuable. Those things that just came naturally to you as a kid is often a clue, right? And so the accumulators were saving money at a young age. The celebrities were putting on shows at a young age. What were you guys doing at a young age? And we're going to start with Carrie in a second, and then go around Monica, Deirdre, Orit, and then Jodie. And then it's what made you think that some of that internal who you are wasn't right or wasn't appreciated? So if anything comes to mind around that, let me know. And if not, you can always skip it. It's totally fine.
What just struck me as well when we were talking about that last round, Deirdre totally nailed it, was that idea that you have that idea that you're supposed to be successful as a child, as a grown-up, that you want to be like the center of attention, and that you want to be the one who's like, look at me, and you can easily talk to everyone. But as those like shy introvert connectors, you actually care really deeply about the relationships. You're really interested in people, which is why you're prepared to sit back. So you kind of think you ought to be celebrity style, but the connector comes in really differently. And I think at school I was that kind of connector, that I was really about caring deeply for my friends and making sure that people weren't left out, but at the same time feeling that kind of that ickiness that I don't know, it's like I wanted to be important, but I saw important as being like the ta-da, and not being able to do that. And that kind of conflict, it came up in me, where I just wanted to nurture people, but being noticed for the connections that I could make, the way that I could bring a group together.
So really fascinating already, right? Because yes, it's not about being an extrovert connector. It's about finding those connections in something that's important to you. And the thing I wrote down too is being a bit of a floater. Does anyone feel like they're a bit of a floater in life, of going, maybe in other personality types, you come out in the middle and you're kind of like, well, I'm a chameleon. I can flare. And so sometimes when people do the archetypes, they're kind of like, I kind of resonate with a bit of all of them. you know, and so they're connectors are the ones in the groups who ask the most questions about scoring and things like that, because they're just like, hang on, tell me who I am. And I'm like, but that's you, that is you. You're flexible, you're a chameleon. Sometimes you could be a performer, sometimes you can be a conformer, because that's safety for you. And we don't necessarily need to go around on this one, but I just had a question here about this, because Monica, again, you brought this up about survival, right? And I thought, you guys have mentioned you hang back a little bit. Now, are you conscious here of going, are you scanning the room and going, who are the nice ones, or who are the ones who are speaking, or who are the, like, do you ever think, well, who they're the influential ones? Because I think that's what celebrities do. They go, who's the speaker? Who's the important one I need to go speak to? I don't know if you guys do that necessarily, but, and Carrie, because you said that first, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. What's your process, or is it just so ingrained you don't even know?
Well, my little secret as well is, because I do a lot of body work, I also hang back on the side of the room watching whose pelvis is out of position. Go, oh, look at that shoulder. Oh, look at that. Oh, and they've got something going on with their knee and it's traveling up to the hip. So when I watch a room, I am interested in, and yes, I watch a room. I'm interested in, like, who are the shiny ones and who has, like, you know, when you're in a big conference room and there's lots of people you've never met, but you can just look around the room and you're like, that person looks like so much fun. You can just see that twinkle in people's eyes. You can kind of feel the resonance. So you know at the coffee break that there's always going to be somebody where you want to go up and go, hey, how you doing? How's it going? But you never just dive in. I never just dive in on it. And I will never, like, be quick to approach, like, the kind of the bright shiny ones, but I'll always find the interesting ones. I'll always find the people where I know I'm going to have a good natter, and it's going to be juicy and lovely.
So I want to just shift a little, because something that you guys were saying, you know, about finding the wallflowers, befriending the lonely people. A few of you guys have said that. So I want to hear, how is this showing up in a negative, unhelpful way in your business or in your career at the moment? Because are you collecting strays? Literally clients or people. Okay, or it just fell off a chair. She just fell off a chair. So you're going to go first. How is this showing up around your pricing, the clients that you serve, the people, the problems that you're trying to solve? How is that? Tell me all the things.
I find that I end up, like, in a perfect storm of connector, alchemist, nurturer. And you're like, so geared for helping, so geared for teaching, so geared for, like, trying to give everything what they need, and then you end up with really sloppy time boundaries because you just need to give it more, and then you don't want to be paid, and you're just like, whew. One of my friends is I think actually, Denise, you might see her tomorrow, Kate Arbuckle. She is a massive accumulator maverick, and she's like, Harry, stop burning down the barn and giving it all away for free. You've already created something awesome. Turn it into a passive income and then move on with your life. Stop making a new thing before you finish the first thing. And I'm like, but I like it. I want to do it. I want to help everyone.
Now there's just one tip that I think is really good for you guys. Hang on, saying update my software. No, I'm not going to do that. My Maverick is like, no, don't tell me what to do. Is how much technology and the world we live in as now is so perfect for connectors, because you can be as generous as possible. You can have newsletters, podcasts that go out to so many people. You can give freely if you have a course that's running in the background and helping people. If you've got somewhere to go, you can give all your curated information to people and just put an affiliate link on there. you know, but there's still something there about resisting receiving anything in return. And what is it? Does anyone want to just jump in? Is it you don't think it's going to be authentic, or you don't think it counts if there is any literal price on it or any reciprocity expected? What's the thing? Better to give than receive? What's going on? Anyone got an aha? I want to hear it, Carrie, as well. Like when you talk about the energetics and looking at people's you know, bodies and all of that kind of stuff, does it feel not personal if you were to, you know, automate things or write books or create courses? Does it not feel? Look at your
Yes,
face.
I know, because I keep getting this chucked at me. It's like the work you do is worthy no matter how you transmit that work. And yet I don't know if it's just because also I'm really hands-on, like my brain is really happy when I'm really hands-on. And I think it's almost like, where's the value in me not being hands-on? If I haven't got my hands on you, where's the value in that? Because that's how I make my connection. It's actual physical connection, especially with my fascial work. And I think Monica had it absolutely dead on the nail. It's that thing of I can't remember how you phrased it, but that idea of is there value if it's just digital? Is there value if it's you can have the contents of my head, and I'd like to give you the contents of my head, but should you have to pay for the contents of my head? And I find that that's where I get really sticky. It's like, this comes so easy to me, and then I forget that other people don't have the skill that I have, and that it's like I could never paint like Monica. It's
But also there's something again there about using the tools that we have available to us now as entrepreneurs to be able to connect and serve more people, you know. And there might be someone who lives in a town that has no body workers, you know, and they're happy to read a book or do something, learn how to, you know, release their own fascia or whatever. And I think because connectors are so selfless in lots of ways, you can't do it like a ruler. You know, if a ruler's like, well, you can make heaps of money doing this and look at all the opportunities on the table, you're just going to go, oh, that is so shallow and that is so gross. That is not me. But if you can trick yourself, you know, of connecting to that thing of, no, this is in service because I am one person. And even if I worked 100 hours a week, I will reach a limit. And so you have to think about all of those people out there who are going, you know what, maybe they need it in a different way to me. Maybe they need it, you know, to meet them where they're at, and I can make it easy and accessible. And technology creates accessibility, you know, and activism is absolutely amplified at the moment by technology. You know, we can connect with those little groups of people who are like us in a completely different side of the world, talk about what we're passionate about, mobilize each other to make change. And so that, I think that is the flip for connectors, is going, how is this a tool, just like I would use my Rolodex of old to make these connections and help more people, and connecting to the power of money to help more people as well. Just to finish up, and again, I just want to say how much I've loved this conversation so much. It has been just so magical and beautiful. And I just want you to reflect on one thing before we finish up too, is, you know, really embracing technology, embracing automation, embracing the business tools that people like me can you know, help you with, and accumulators can help you with, you know, your accumulator friend can help you with. And because that's the way we think, but it means that you can help and connect with so many people on their terms. And someone even on the call yesterday, they said, Denise, you don't even know it, but you're like my best friend. You know, and when you guys know how low of a connector I am and how much I, you know, try and put that into my business, because I do care about people. I just don't have the capacity to do it like you guys do. But I want you to trust that your caring heart and your knowledge can be amplified on your terms, absolutely on your terms. So let other archetypes help you with that. You know, it's like having a magical tool to amplify it. It's a homeopathic effect, and it will be so potent for you guys when you really, really get that. And I'll laugh too, because one person on the celebrity call, she said, "Thanks so much for sending me cookies when I achieved my goal." And I said, Mara is our connector. She's the one who does that. I get the recognition for it, but I never have, she's the one looking for who's doing the things and remembering all that stuff that comes so easily to you guys, remembering people's names and birthdays and remembering the things. It does not come easily to everyone else. So sometimes even if you just sit and think about, how can I break that down? How can I teach that to other people, or to be, to have more connector, or just how can I amplify my voice? So just to finish up, I would love to just hear, a final thought from each of you about how Money Archetypes has helped you, how it's, made some shifts for you, or, anything like that.
So there's two big things. I love this course, but there's two big things which I have taken from it. The first, oh my gosh, the empowering words. When you know who you're talking to, when you know who you want to bring into your world, bring into your business or whatever, having all those lists of all those amazing empowering words, it's so much candy to just sprinkle through your copy. I love it. It was just it's magical. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is now understanding that I am very much the alchemist and that I have zero follow through. I just get to build my business so I don't have to worry about that. It's great. It's oh, that's why I'm absolutely shit at returning calls and emails and sending the thing. It's because I'm just not built for that. So instead of beating myself up about it, I now have systems in place, which means it's all taken care of. I love it. Perfect.
Wow. Thank you so much for your generosity, everybody, and your connection and the ideas and all of the things. I just appreciate you so much. So, are you a ruler, a connector, or a maverick? Hang on, maybe you're more of a romantic or a celebrity. Take the money personality quiz right now and find out which of the 8 money archetypes you are. And then I'm going to teach you how to profit from your strengths and make money in your business based on your natural personality. Click below and find out more.